Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to the PM session, baby. How is everybody? Good to hear, Slayer. Good to hear. I'm doing well. Also, thanks for asking. Back on days off. Worked throughout the weekend. Ready to get after it this week. How was everyone's morning session? Actually, how was everyone's weekend? It's Monday. Let's ease into it. How was everyone's weekend? Anyone do anything fun and exciting? Chill beach day? Nice. I'm jealous. We had snow over the weekend, funny enough. But that's May long weekend for you. Um, no, it's good. What beach did you go to? I wish I could be on a beach. I was working. Okay. While I wait for you to answer, let's start just talking about the chart a little bit. We can talk about our mornings. If you guys have anything to add. North Beach, Miami Beach. Nice. Working the weekend like usual. Getting after it. Hey, thanks, Mason. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the chart here, specifically the NASDAQ, the equities market. Okay. Excuse me, I'm just eating watermelon right now. So thank you, Slayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, last week printed a weekly swing. Previous weekly high SMT with YM. Actually, that's a lie. All-time high SMT only with YM. And we created a nice little breaker block on the 4 hour and 1 hour. Have yet to create anything on the daily till we get below the previous weekly low on a daily candle closure. But that breaker there takes us nicely into the previous weekly low, which is also a weekly fair value gap. There's plenty of weekly fair value gaps. We've created fair value gaps every week since beginning of April. So we've got a lot of imbalance there. What I'm looking at is basically just this previous weekly low and then some, because that's where some standard deviations line up. And then if we do get some daily closures below this daily low, then we can start to look at maybe bigger picture retracements for a new quarter, which will be coming in June, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Am I tripping? Yeah. End of March, April to June. Yeah, June. Okay, I'm not tripping. Um, so we're looking at that right now. I wasn't I wasn't exactly taking the bait, to be fair either. I was not short biased. I didn't trade Friday, so I wasn't at all even involved. I saw what we did, and I said maybe we can get down to previous weekly low, but going into the AM session, actually, I'm actually down 2R today. One of them was a good trade. The other one was questionable, and we'll get into it. I'll break down my trades because I think it's good for you guys to see my process of my review. So I'm very critical of myself. So sorry. There's this thing with watermelon in me that like if I once I taste one, I don't stop. So I need to like put it away, otherwise I'm gonna keep picking at it. I don't know if you guys get the same thing with watermelon. It's just like you can eat an endless amount of it, and then you probably pay for it in a few hours. Um, but anyway, I digress. So this morning, um, we'll start it off with the 7 a.m. here. So we had a nice previous weekly low SMT going through the overnight session, and we had yet to meet any sort of standard deviations from the breaker that formed in Asia session, and as well as the breaker that formed in the um, London session. You can see they're basically right side by side. What's up, Bradley? That's you and popcorn? Yeah, no kidding. I'm not a big popcorn guy, but I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Popcorn's one of those things. It's just like eating air. It's like being chips. I'm bad with chips. So we had some breakers with standard deviations that needed to be met yet. We had clean buys. We had clean buys here during London when we created the Asia low SMT. And we had clean buys here at 7 when we tapped into midnight, created London low SMT. Both great buying opportunities, and um, both of them had clean low time frame entries, right? So you have this SMT here into a 50-minute breaker. And what do you have? Nice 1-minute breaker nested within that 15-minute breaker. And you would have hit -4 standard deviations to that. That would have been a banger trade. And then you go into here, same thing. Nice 1-minute breaker. And then it would have hit -4 and then some standard deviations as well. Two very, very clean setups. You don't have to take the 1-minute setups, but you can add on them if you like. I would have just been taking the 15-minute to be fair, just because it's super low resistance. It's very easy to get in on those. But with every 15-minute entry, there is a lower time frame, 1-minute time frame aligned entry as well. Okay. I don't want to use that one. Okay, so nice expansion to close out the 8 o'clock hour. We get some PM high SMT. And then going into the AM session, I was looking for us to get up higher into like this PM high, to be fair, and -4 standard deviations kind of up in here because we kind of broke through these standard deviation levels really easily. And also, if you have the digital, if you're an enjoyer of the time-based fibs as well, you can see digital standard deviations is up above PM high as well. So that would have been swell. 9:30 rolls around. We get some nice SMT with the hourly. NQ sweeping after it failed to take any liquidity. So this is kind of it taking its counterpart of liquidity. We have a nice gap right here. It's also in discount of the daily range. We got weekly open right here. I just bought the weekly open. As soon as it tapped that weekly open, bought that. And then basically got cucked, to be honest. Didn't really go anywhere. Then I got stopped on that. That's fine. That's the fair setup. I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with that. The second one that I took was where the problems kind of arose, and that was down here. I tried to be really cute, seeing that we failed to take this Asia low. We still had this breaker here. I was thinking maybe it was just a super deep retracement. And I just took a 1-minute breaker off of this. And what I kind of just ignored and I should have looked at it a little heavier was that we actually created this 15-minute breaker with the PM high SMT. I had lots of reason to not be long on this, but I threw a bone at it anyway, long the breaker, and then did ultimately get stopped out. Which is not fun right there, which is not fun. That is one definitely where if you know, are being given so many different reasons to just sit on the sidelines, right? We have projections down here at previous weekly low. We failed multiple breakers except the low of day. I get it. It made sense in a way, but I did have conflicting criteria and it was a little bit too much for my liking. But I pushed the button anyway, and that's on me for sure. That's not exactly, I wouldn't consider it. I mean, actually, I would consider it a mistake because I definitely shouldn't have been in the trade. But the mistakes are going to happen, right? And that's kind of what we'll talk about that today a little bit. Learning how to learning how to be imperfect, even like make mistakes and still come out okay and maintain profitability. We'll get into that after I finish my thought here, and then we'll get into present price action. So going into that trade, I did, as I mentioned, we had the 15-minute breaker get created, albeit a massive one. Also, pretty sure, the hourly closed bearish as well. So we completely flipped, and I should have just been sidelined. I'm okay taking that first loss, but that second loss was definitely unnecessary. So, yeah. Okay. Now current PA. I just spit all over my mic. Nice one. Current PA, we did take out the current Asia low. We met -2 standard deviations of the breaker from Friday's PM session. We do have that previous weekly low SMT as well. We have tons of SMT at the lows here, and now we're seeing a failure swing on NQ. Nothing to bite on at the moment, but I see that we bounced off of here, went to form lunch high SMT, and now we have lunch liquidity paired with SMT forming a lunch high with YM, and now YM is actually taking lunch low. But hasn't taken AM low. So the thing that's kind of hanging over my head is that we still haven't met -2 standard deviations of the 4-hour breaker, as well as previous weekly low. I think that's going to act as a draw for now. Hence why I'm not exactly keen to buy down here, even with all this SMT. We don't have any sort of breaker confirmed yet. I would need to see something get created. We're not even really trading into a 15-minute breaker down here. This is the breaker up here. So I'd want to wait and look for any sort of confirmation, which would probably require me waiting on the 1 minute. But seeing us fail to create this 15-minute breaker makes this SMT at lunch low a lot less probable. So my estimation is that it's probably just going to fall through lunch low, and we're going to target this previous weekly low. There's not much for me to get involved with. Like I said, I'm already down to our own today. I'm not exactly keen on pushing it on a Monday because I know that feeling all too well of thinking that you need to win the war in a day, right? Just because you lost the battle, you don't have to win the war in the same day, right? So if you take 2 losses, it's Monday. There's lots of week left. Historically, I actually start my weeks off not great. And usually by the end of the week, I heat up and then I do well. So this is not new. I'm no stranger, right? Just starting off the week with a couple L's, making a couple mistakes, right? Get the cobwebs out, shake the cobwebs off, get that weekend warrior fuzzy brain mitigated, and then Tuesday and on, I tend to do a lot better. So we're gonna take it slow as per usual with me. Last week was great. Past 2 weeks have actually been pretty great. I've been taking it really slow, and it's been going good, going good. Um, Let me look at my stats. I haven't been using TradeZella because their platform has been annoying me to see, at least. But I've reached out to them with some bugs and they haven't fixed them. So let's see here. Yeah, last week was 18. I wish it showed the final P&L of the week. Last week was 4.5R on the week. The week prior was 5R, a little over 5R on the week. So that's about 9.5R. I think I'm up like 6, 7R on the month. So, and we still got this week and next week. So lots of time left. Hey, I'm low sweep. Didn't even create a 1 minute breaker. Nope. Nope. Did not. So, yeah. So you guys will understand, my hesitance towards looking at all these SMTs down here. I'm not exactly keen. I think it's going to just fall right through lunch low. Mr. Millet, how's it going? Yeah. So PM sessions, we talked about this last week during our PM sessions. We wanted to kind of start working towards maybe making the PM session more of a discussion or more of like an educational stream rather than sitting here and watching paint dry. So definitely short notice and whatnot, but going forward, for anyone that's in here that frequently tunes into the PM sessions or maybe wants to, um, bring me your questions. Bring me lots of questions about anything that you might be struggling with, anything that you might be a little bit unsure about, or maybe something that you want to like just have a discussion about, not necessarily like from a point of questioning me, right? Maybe you just want to discuss something. So always open to discussion within reason, of course. But yeah, I think these are good opportunities for us to just go through and like maybe refine some things, talk about some stuff. Maybe we can do some back testing streams in the future so you guys can get a better look into what my model looks like. Even though I fucking hate back testing, I would do that for you guys. Um, and then, yeah, we also want to maybe have a place in the prop firm compare Discord where you guys can ask us questions and send us charts and have us review your trades. I would love to see your guys' trades, see what kind of setups you guys are taking, um, and then we can talk about them in stream. And I think that'd be a great opportunity for everyone to learn. So the floor is open if you guys do have questions. Um, whether it's, a struggle, something you've been struggling with, something that you've learned, something that you're curious about, or whatever, feel free to ask. Because the PM sessions are notoriously slow, especially for me. I don't typically get too involved with them, but always down to have a chat, and it makes the stream more fun. Nah, we don't fuck with Forex. We don't fuck with Forex. Used to. Some of us used to. I think Kane used to trade Forex. I think Juno traded Forex. I traded Forex. Mike, yeah, a ton of us. Ton of us did. I don't know if Alex ever did. I think Alex has always been a futures guy. Um, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the Forex market for multiple different reasons. But yeah, we don't really trade Forex. So there's something here, right? Now, if we create this 1 minute breaker, see a retracement, like a scalp retracement up into the midpoint and maybe up into the current highs here, all these equal highs. Even if it does get created, I'm not going to take it, and I will tell you why. Because we haven't created any single bit of or any sort of high time frame breaker to even anchor a low time frame setup off of, right? Um, I would have liked to see us maybe create at least a 5 minute breaker or a 15 minute breaker here, getting above this high before getting long. This to me can fail incredibly easily because we're not anchoring to any sort of higher time frame change in state of delivery. You don't even have a 15-minute order block put in. You don't even have a 5 minute order block put in. It failed 1, 2, 3 times to close above that 1220 high or 1220 open. So that's the thing, right? Not all breakers, not all reversals, not all quote unquote SMRs are created equal. You can run into trouble if you start trading them in a vacuum, meaning trading them like they're all the same. They all hold the same amount of weight. It's not how it works. It's not that easy. You can do it. You're not going to get as good a results though as if you compared to if you have a proper, system and process for filtering trades. You need a process. You need a way to filter out trades and grade them from low probability to high probability, right? There's lunch low. So now that SMT got deleted, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see speed below this low. Um, ES is nearing its low of day. YM has rolled over. See no reason for us to turn around here, to be fair. So we get to this low. Is anyone trading the Tradeify Grand Cup? We have we've created a breaker. We didn't close above this one yet until this candle closes, but I want to see us close above that one. Let's see where those standard deviations take us. Right up into lunch high. I'm not exactly interested in that, to be fair, but it's just safer, in my opinion, to wait until we get a high time frame breaker to confirm any sort of upside. Because we've had this. Oh, excuse me. We've had this SMT with Asia low, with ES for quite some time. Quite some time. I think if anything is going to create some sort of SMT inside of this for a value gap and continue, but I think if this 15-minute breaker gets created, that takes us basically right up to the previous daily high. W Stream Bray just dropping by to leave a like. Appreciate you, Chronic. Have a good day, brother. Have a good day. Tough out here in the PM. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to be taking a trade, to be fair. I don't even know. Something comes up. We'll see. But I'm not holding my breath. Yeah, majority of the move has happened. I could see us maybe, getting down to previous weekly low, but I'm not. It's not something I'm going to participate in unless something cleaner presents than what's available at the moment. Yeah, you too, Chronic. Have a good day, bro. Previous week's low looks hot. Are we taking that today? We'll see. It's kind of late in the day to be taking a high time from POI like that if we get there, but um, maybe we get a short into it, to be fair. Maybe. Maybe, just maybe. Time for a little bit more watermelon. Just a little bit more watermelon. Mm-hmm. I'm in short on ES, targeting previous week's lows. Will clear my phase two with that, if it does. Nice, bro. Good luck. Where are you short from? I dusted that watermelon. W's to the wife for bringing that watermelon up, though. That's huge. Huge for the program. Oh, let's see what else is going on in the market. Oh, okay. Okay. Daily sweep. Some tea with XAU. Some tea with silver also. Let's actually break this down from the high time frame and come up with a thesis. Okay. Trading inside of this, the March, basically the March high and low, right in between there, right? So we're kind of stuck. We had previous monthly high and previous monthly low SMT with silver. If you look, silver took out the high. And then, oh, XAU euro. Oh, yeah. And silver both failed to take out the previous monthly low. Now, on a weekly, we don't have any sort of confirmation of breakers to the downside, but we do have this for value gap that's been holding price. We've been consolidating for multiple weeks now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're in our 8th week of potential consolidation here on gold. Wouldn't hate to see us take out this low here. And then that would get us down into maybe, I mean, 4K would be a dream, to be fair. But that's asking a lot, I think. So weekly, how'd the last week go? Silver took out its previous monthly high last week, so we have some SMT at that previous monthly high. So is that SMT? Silver. Let's go to the 4-hour. Just missed that breaker. From the 4-hour, where do these standard deviations line up? -4 takes you down into the bodies. We've also got this one here that takes you down into that low. The weekly open. Yes, I don't need that. Yeah. Of course, another thing to keep in mind too is that we do have S&T at this previous monthly low. Sorry, previous weekly low. I think it's a monthly low too. It's not the same one. So we have swept out this low here. Have created this hourly breaker. Yeah. Gold, I'm not clear on gold. I don't know. Based off of how the weekly's looking, and like having no breakers down here, having this just be one big candle. Got S&T at the highs. I think we can just continue to target lows. So I wouldn't exactly be too keen on buying with weekly direction in mind. But I would say, what did I just do? Just dropping in to say hi while I mash down some food. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm uh I'm of the camp that I think we can continue lower on gold here. At least for the short term. Not exactly an expert on gold though. My analysis isn't too sharp. Yeah, I think previous weekly low is a good spot as well. Just no way for me to capitalize on it. Not exactly gonna look to take as ES got on the it's one of those like it's probably just gonna use this IFEG on the one and the three. Yeah, and the three to drop down into the previous weekly low, but that's not the model. Hello, Mario. Dino, what's going on, brother? How you guys doing? You guys have some fun today? You guys have some fun in the weekend? Yeah, it bothers me that I can't read on gold. I think just my my like stubbornness for down close candles for like for open high low close, open low high close. Like I want this low taken out. That would just make it so efficient. It's similar to what I want on Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin to go run out this fucking low. Just because, like, look at how it closed. Closed on the weekly the same as gold did. Look at how the monthly closed. It closed bearish. Now we're retracing. Um, the 3 month also bearish. I'd love to get Bitcoin buys down below 60K. So yeah, it's just the fact that like typically good reversals on any fractal on the bullish side will stem from a candle that was designed to go higher, not a candle that was designed to go lower like this one. So like what I would like to see is we close out the month, the quarter, and then we can sweep this low on an open low candle. Oops. On an open low candle and then target new highs. But as it stands on the short term right now with this SMT at the low here with silver and euro gold paired with this hourly breaker here, I can see us maybe getting a reaction up higher, maybe up into the monthly open and maybe higher. So I'd be watching for that. No short signal for me on the intra week, but direction wise on the weekly, I want to see us lower. On the intraday wise, going into like the mid part of the week, I'd like to see us create this fair value gap here on the daily, trade up into it, maybe a little higher, maybe up into this daily fair value gap, create some SMT in there, and then dump it like a clean weekly open high low close. Maybe. I don't know. Anyone else here trade gold? I haven't fucked with it in a while. I typically only trade it in Asia. Funny enough. If you don't know about gold in the Asia session, you're missing out. Because that shit be cooking. $14 in the green for the day, baby. Lambo soon. Yes, sir. Well, hey, you're $14 closer. That's more than most can say. I scalped a bit pre-market. I didn't even feel like pushing the button on New York Open. That's totally fair, bro. That's totally fair. I'm looking forward to to not looking at the chart for the rest of the day. To be so fucking honest with you guys, I these PM sessions just that's why I get a little. Sometimes you'll see me. I get a little weird on PM sessions. Not weird. I guess that's kind of a bad way to describe it. I get a little distracted and like off topic. Get a little bit off topic on stream in the PM. You're gonna be talking about some bullshit. But you guys have me for AM sessions um, tomorrow and Wednesday. I'd like to get more streams in, but got to spread it around because Leo's back. So you won't have me 5 days a week like last week, which was nice. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I've been really enjoying streaming. I don't know what it is. I think it's been a very calming experience. Most people get like super, especially me, like when I first started streaming, I would get so riled up. I get so fucking riled up streaming and like it would cause analysis paralysis and whatever. And like it's just because like it's hard to trading's hard enough. Trading in front of an audience is even harder, albeit a small audience in the PM session. But like it definitely does something to you streaming, like especially in the AM session when like there's Kane, who's a better trader than I am, Alex, like who's a better trader than I am, and like all you guys who I see like honestly as my equals to watch me take a trade, right? So it definitely the ego can take hits with losses, right? So like I used to be super hyper fixated. What a great combination of words. Super fixated on, you know, not taking losses on stream because like I care what people think of me. Um, I'm definitely better now. Um, Now I don't really care, to be honest, because like I have my identity deeply like more deeply rooted in myself as a trader. So like I'm more, confident in who I am as a trader. And that's something that you just have to kind of go through. But yeah, not to dump on you guys about my path as a live streamer. Not that you guys give a fuck, but yeah, live streaming is tough. I think you're a dope trader, brother. Taught me a lot in the lab. I appreciate you, dude. It's always been fun having conversations with you and chatting. I hope to continue to see you in here. And I hope you're doing good. How's your trading been? By the way, I'm actually curious how your trading's been. What model have you kind of landed on? More cells. Using that inversion for value gap. Kind of nested with the breaker here. Kind of, not really. Yeah. It ain't sexy. I'm not degen enough to sell the low a day. I can't lie, it's been a tough year so far, but I'm 600K funded yet to get a payout this year on those accounts, though. I'm a 2K profit, but need 7.6K for payout on 300K accounts. You got it, dude. Just honestly stay consistent. Stay as consistent as you can. Um, that's going to be your your best determining factor of your success, right? Like no one's rushing you. I assume I'm pretty sure you have a job and you have, an income and you're not exactly like trading out of any sort of desperation. So if you are, then the rule still applies to just take it slow um, and don't think that you need to just get paid immediately, especially the closer you get. Like once you start to get like if you get to that 5K profit, I'm telling you, dude, if there's a time to slow down, it's then. Um, you can't rush something like this. You can't just go take your money from the markets whenever you want. That's not how it works. Your job is to just execute your process and be happy with whatever outcome you get. It's really just doing that consistently. And if you have an edge, like it will pay off in the long run, right? That's what edge is. Edge isn't something that's short term. Short term results are absolutely random, but we tend to think that they're absolute and that we jump back and forth between models and risk management styles and whatever. Just you've done the work. Most of you have done the work. You know what you're doing already. You just need to get out of your own way. And that's usually through rational thinking and not letting any sort of emotion dictating some sort of stupid action. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just take it slow, dude. There's no rush. Whether you make it this month, next month, or the month after, it doesn't matter. It all ends up on the same piece of paper at the end of the year when it comes tax time, right? Have fun. Um, yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna beat the dead horse. You get the point. Um, I think you're good, dude. I got tons of faith in you. You show up every day and you put in the work. That counts for something. You're not owed it, but your habits and your work ethic will take you very far. Since I took it slower, I started getting payouts immediately, but I got caught trying to pass my eval fasted again, but I'll try to scale again with the next payout. Yeah, it reflects in all facets, right? Live account, funded account, eval, right? You should trade them all the same. You should trade them all the same, unless you have money um, to burn. Just trade your shit the same. Like I said, there's no rush. Like, yeah, there are some people who, um, will risk basically the entire account on CPI and try to pass it in one go. Truth of the matter is those people have a lot of affiliate money to burn. You know who we're talking about. Or they just have a lot of income and a lot of money so that these accounts uh, it doesn't really matter if they blow them, right? They're looking at it from a time perspective. They'd rather spend their money than their time, and that's totally fine, but it doesn't remove the fact that it is fucking gambling. Okay? So if you have a problem with overtrading, revenge trading, gambling, etc., deviating from your process, you shouldn't be um, going too crazy on trying to pass eval super quick. And I'm not saying that's you, Alex. I'm just saying as a blanket statement towards most. But you are doing it right with scaling, using your payouts. That's the best way to do it. Thanks for the kind words and advice. Man, to top advice is always, yeah, yeah, no problem, man. Anytime. Anytime you need to chat, just message me in the lab. However you can get in contact with me, just message me. I'm not the best at replying in Discord because um frankly Discord burns me the hell out, but um I will get back to you. And even just tuning in here. Tuning in here. I mean, I have to answer you here. All right. We've deleted all our SMT. All we have is the previous weekly low now. I blow my funded account, crying emoji at evening. Sorry to hear. Um, do you want to talk about it? Is there news? There's news of some sort. There's news of some sort. It's definitely not economic. Financial juice. Something's going to come out on financial juice. 165-point candle, by the way. Yeah, something will come up. Uh, Nothing yet. This is one of those classic. What the fuck was that candles? Yeah. Nothing coming out yet. Sign in. Okay. Remember me. Bastard. There we go. So you're just pissing me off. Verify your account. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me the fucking news and shut up. Now it's blank. I don't know. Oh, finally. Thank you, Alex. As soon as you sent that to me, my shit finally refreshed. Okay, no attack on Iran tomorrow. Trump have been asked by Qatar to hold off on the Iran attack. Trump prepared to attack Iran on a moment's notice. Okay, yeah, the guy's just fucking deranged. Trump, yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, I see. Yeah, Alex, yeah. That's it, for fuck's sake. No, you did good. You did good. I appreciate it. Always looking out. Always looking out. Man. Um, yeah, depends on what pills he takes or not tomorrow. Really. Like the guy is just Did you guys see like hasn't this guy put on how many millions of dollars has this guy put on in trades this year alone? Like is that true? That like this guy's put on like an average of like $750 million this year or something like that in volume? I'm not tripping, right? Or is that just did I just get um baited? He did what with his meme coin? Oh fuck yeah, he did, dude. That's not even like the main thing. It's like he bought Dell, he bought Palantir. He's been buying Palantir all year. And then like he like a couple months later, then he like goes in and he says something. Same thing with Dell, same thing with Nvidia. Like this guy is just this guy is just like blatantly doing it. Everyone is. Like it's just completely it's become normal now. But like then they're not going to do anything about it either. I might be late, but better late than never. But I started investing with my pale money now as well for long term. Dude, you're never too late to start investing. You're never too late. The best time to invest in the stock market was 10 years ago. The second best time to invest in the stock market is right fucking now. There is no there is no bad time to invest in the market because time in the market beats timing the market every single time. Every single time. So you are not too late. I used to think that too. Before I started mine, my trader brain would turn on and I would think, oh, I'm going to use my analysis to help me be a better investor. Nah, dude, no. Just just take money every month that you can allocate towards your investment account and put it on a schedule. If you want to use your analysis a little bit, stick on the daily chart or higher and wait for 10% dips and if you get a 10% dip or more, buy extra. And like what you can do is you can allocate is say you have $1,000 per month that you want to invest into your long-term portfolio. Take $800 of that or what eight between like seven take like 75% to 75 to 90% of that and invest it into whatever you invest in, whether it be ETFs, individual stocks, bonds, whatever the shit. And then everything left over, like the couple $100 that's left over, the 25 to 10% that's left over, keep that in cash and use it as like an overflow. And then kind of like a rainy day fund or a bloody day fund if you want to really get, cute with it. Anytime you get big dips, take offload that or use that capital as like extra firepower to reduce your average position. That's the best way to do it. That's how I do it. That's how I was taught to do it by people who know more about it than I do. But yeah, whatever amount it may be, just invest. Keep it simple. My portfolio is so fucking simple. It's just ETFs. That's all it is. ETFs and some Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is not a not totally a long term play. Like I'm not planning on holding it until I'm 50. Um, but they are leveraged plays. Well, not leveraged. Longer term plays. Yeah, it's very cool talking to other traders about um how they like to invest. I think a lot of traders make bad investors. I think they think they're the same thing. Like new traders, I feel like they think that investing is very similar to trading, and it's like it couldn't be more opposite. There's so many dichotomies between the two. Trade to build capital and invest to grow capital. Yeah, exactly. Investments are like your true passive income. Trading is not trading is a vehicle. It's a vehicle. You clock in the same as every other job, except trading is the most scalable business in the business model in the world, in my opinion. It's not easy. It's probably like one of the hardest things to do from like a success rate standpoint. Um, but yeah, unless like you're thinking like professional sports. I think professional sports are probably going to be harder than that, but harder than trading. But yeah, Tesla and Nvidia have done so good for me. My main two X, yeah. If you've been in those for a while, then you are laughing, dude. You're laughing. There's some stocks that actually, to be fair, I'm gonna look at some. I feel like some of them are still in the absolute shitter. Like, look at Nike. Look at Nike. Isn't that crazy? Nike is, oops, 75% off of its highs. 75%. Nike, one of like the world's biggest shoe and like athletic wear brands. I've been looking at Nike for a long time. I haven't invested any in it, but what else? Adidas fan? Me too. Low key, me too. I love Adidas. Almost time to start buying. Yeah, when it gets to 99%. Which look at where the -4 takes you. -4 takes you to $5. How fucking nuts would that be? Nike is worth $5 per share from 180. Like one of the most popular companies in the world. I find using high time frame standard deviations, having key to making smart entries and targets for stocks and crypto, they all seem to run really well to it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Apple's great. Microsoft's great. I actually love Microsoft still. Microsoft, I think, is still a solid buy. I don't need to see. Wait, I want to see earnings. I don't need to see dividends though. Not till July. Did they recently have? I'd love to see, like, look at this. It doesn't get much cleaner. Um, from like a stock perspective. So we're still 24% off of the highs, Microsoft. Kind of reclaim this here. Weekly breaker. -2.5 standard deviations right at those highs. Like that's like I love Microsoft for more buys up into like I would start. Actually need to at this month. I'm probably gonna pick up some Microsoft, to be honest, at the end of the month. Just seems like such a banger, dude. Expansion, consolidation, second expansion. Yeah, that is definitely one for the watch list. um, Amazon, all-time highs. Netflix. Yeah. What's MU? Micron? I think it's just AI, not semiconductors. Um, they've done great on performance. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just a, just catching bids on the AI craze. Everybody and their fucking mother needs semiconductors nowadays, so naturally. Yeah, exactly, Dean. Exactly, dude. This day's a wash, to be fair, I think. I'm gonna go take a leak. I'll be back in like a minute. Okay. You want to just do a little break, Graham? Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Graham. Okay. So pretty big spike off of that news with Trump doing his thing. No confirmation on anything, right? No FUGs, no breaker, no OB, nothing like that. Just we do have a 5 minute breaker that got created. Um, to be fair, that's it's not exactly a huge confluence for me. Oil dump on that news too. Yeah, it did. Watch him just run the low again. Bray, let's say you invest 1K. How much stocks do you search, and then what amount do you invest per stock every 1K? Uh, I don't invest in individual stocks. I invest in ETFs because diversification is super important for me. So, um, if I were investing in stocks, it would all depend on what stocks I'm looking at. So, like, I would look for something stable. Like, I'm not looking for, the point of an investment account is to grow your money over time. It's not to find fucking hunter baggers, right? Like, so I would be investing in companies that are strong, companies that are, solid financially, and there's no, true risk for them to fail anytime soon unless something unthinkable happens. So like your Nvidia's, your Microsoft's, your Apple, if you want to invest in like some other sectors, like investing in, I don't know, Chevron, banks, the health sector, which hasn't been doing that great. So there's a ton of different sectors. So like I would try to diversify between some sectors. Like I would do like a couple tech, a couple financials, maybe like some AI, like specific ones. But like the problem is like you're gonna be rebalancing constantly, and you're gonna you say like you get into Nvidia and you also get into whatever, say for example Nike. Nvidia and Nike are completely different right now, right? So like you're gonna be way overbalanced on your Nvidia and you're gonna be completely underbalanced on your Nike. So like you're gonna have to rebalance, or you might even just get out of your Nike completely. So like it's a lot more management. My thinking is individual stocks should be looked at as a very small part of your allocation. You don't want to put all your eggs in one company, in one basket, if you want steady long-term growth, right? Like let your trading be that more like going for bigger gains. But when it comes to investing, like shoot for the standard, 8 to 10% per year, buy below the yearly open, um, buy 10% dips on ETFs. They're automatically rebalanced. They pay some dividends. They're stable and they're very low, effort. So yeah, I just can't think there's a world where like the only part of my portfolio is stocks. I think there's a better way to do it. So like I don't even know how I would allocate it because like if you have five stocks you're looking at, doesn't you don't necessarily just do 20% of each 20% per stock. Like you're not just investing $200 per stock in your portfolio for an even split. Like because one stock you might have a lot more, faith in one specific stock based on your analysis fundamentally and technically. So I just buy ETFs, man. My shit is boring. My shit is so boring. And like I'll mix in some higher time frame trades in there. Like I'll mix in some options trades. Like my and like that's part to the fact that like I'm still very new to investing and like I don't like fucking with it too much. Um I'm up 29% on my portfolio this year. And like that's fucking great in my opinion. For like someone who I'm not paying much attention to it, that's fucking great. Um I mean, to add to it, I had an options trade in there. I did some oil calls and I also bought like the low of the year on across all the indexes and Bitcoin. So like that's I'd be happy with this by the end of the year if I'd made 29%. So like you don't need to do much to make a 10% gain in a year. Yeah. I would say like punch in AI. Like depends on what your goals are for your long term. Like your investment account should look completely opposite. Like for me, it's like so I'm in the holdings that I have. I have four holdings. VFV, which is the Vanguard S&P index. It's the Canadian one, so I don't have to worry about like withholding tax and stuff. FBTC, which is just a Bitcoin ETF. XAW, which is BlackRock ETF. It's basically an all-country world ETF, excluding Canada. And then I have VCN, which is a Canada all capital index. So I'm diversified across US, global, and heavily weighted in the US, surrounding the S&P. So, and then Bitcoin. But like, so I don't really need to do much more than that. Um, in terms of allocation for those, 50% of my allocation goes towards VFV, 30% of my allocation goes towards XAW, VCN is 20% of my allocation goes towards VCN. Bitcoin is just whatever. I I'm not buying it just as I go. Um, I'm playing that a little more technically because I'm trading it not as long term. So, but it all depends on how you want to be weighted. You could also just go, um, what's the fucking, oh, XEQT. XEQT is basically just like an all world equity portfolio. So it's the iShares Core Equity ETF portfolio. It just covers everything. I think there's VEQT as well. VEQT versus XEQT. So okay, it's just different. It's just different institutions. So VEQT is Vanguard, XEQT is iShares. They're basically 100% equity, all in one ETFs available to investors. But I think the Canadian ones. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah. Sorry I couldn't answer your question. I answered your question completely not the way that you wanted me to, but that's just not how I'm looking at investing. So like I can't exactly give advice on it. I can just tell you what I do. I think this shit is cooked, to be fair. We'll go longer here yet, but does anyone have any other questions about a specific trade they took today? About a specific signature they might want to be, might want to talk about or discuss or anything. I'm not in lab and just have the stream recommended on YouTube. How many trades do you take in a day, roughly? Brother, it's not about how many trades I take in a day. It's about how many trades I take in a week, um, which is not that many. Like two today, and that's like the most for me, usually 2 to 3. But like by the end of the week, I'm usually like 7, 8, maybe. So I guess it averages out to maybe one a day, but there's a lot of days that I just do not trade. So I'm not I'm not scalping all that often. The hardest part of my trading journey has been trying to restrict the volume of trades. More trades, less profit for me. So that's been bulk of my work this year. Dude, you're not the only one. This is a common problem across the space. It's uh, increased frequency brings decreased results. Um, just due to the fact that like complacency happens. There's not that many good setups in a day. And obviously like over trading and revenge trading and shit like that exists. So I even tweeted about this. It's super funny you bring that up because I literally tweeted this yesterday. I said most traders don't need a better strategy. They just need fewer trades. Um, you just have to filter out the bullshit. Because like I have no doubt that like all of you take good trades, but that's the easy part. The easy part, taking a good trade is an easy thing. Because like usually you feel very little emotion, you feel very solid in your analysis, and like everything lines up. It's like the stars aligned, right? You take that trade, and then you go and you take some fuck off bullshit scalp that has no confluence. It's not even remotely close to your model that you're trying to execute, but you're just playing with house money and you think, oh, I can afford this one, like blah 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 blah. Like it's not how it works, right? It's you have to filter out the bullshit in between the good trades. Because I have no doubt, like I said, that most you take good trades, but you also take shit trades in between. So like if that's you, focus on, yeah, less is more. Yeah, exactly. And like if you could be completely worn out from taking too many trades, and then like the most chef's kiss fucking trade comes across your desk and you don't have the mental capital to trade it and execute it accordingly. It's what I call blowing your load. You blew your load before the going gets good. It happens in high time frame conditions, it happens in intraday conditions. There's a lot of people who forced their fucking hand at the start of the year, ran their shit dry, and now we've had some of the easiest trading conditions the past 2 months. And a lot of these people have blown their load and they didn't get to participate in it. Or maybe they tried shorting it the entire way and they just keep getting their head bashed in. Like, just lower that frequency a bit. Focus on the quality of your setups. Like, I like to always relate. I always like to relate trading to like sports analogies. So, like, speaking on high frequency, imagine you're let's pick a sport that I actually will know what I'm talking about, hockey. So imagine you're a professional hockey player, um, and we'll say your frequency is like how many shots you take on net, right? You're going to have obviously the more shots, like you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, but like do you think they're shooting from absolutely everywhere and anywhere that they can? Like do you think the moment that that puck touches your stick that you're going to fire it on net? No, you try to set yourself up and wait for a proper opportunity, whether it be, on a power play and you're being fed cross crease for a tap in, or you're on the point on D on the power play and you're waiting for traffic in front, or you're waiting for an open lane, right? You're going to be waiting to give yourself the best opportunity to score, not just the opportunity to take a shot, right? Same thing applies to trading, right? You have to wait for the proper confluences to set yourself up and set your trade up, right? You're going to try to execute what you practice, right? What you look for in the charts. Same thing with being a hockey player. You're going to probably wait for that open lane. You're going to wait for sticks to be out of the way. You're going to wait for a solid pass from your D-man or from your line mate before you take that shot. You're going to wait for the goalie to be off guard. Or like maybe if you have the puck and you're skating in the neutral zone. You're going to wait until you get into the offensive zone, maybe below the top circle, and try to drive the net a bit. Like there's so many different variables, but like they set themselves up properly based off of what they do in practice. So you could say the same for basketball players. Like Steph Curry's not shooting from anywhere. He can, but he waits until the proper opportunity arises. Here's the thing though, someone struggling with fat loss knows what to do to lose fat, but they just wake up each day and fail. Yeah, that's because it's one, it's not easy, and two, they lack discipline. And that's what I was kind of saying. You all know what to do. You all know what to do, but you lack the emotional fortitude and the discipline to carry out those actions. Most unprofitable. Yeah, exactly. Goes into the whole those you can't do teach. So like it's not easy, but it's simple. You know what I mean? If it was easy, then everyone would do it. It's definitely not easy, but it is simple. You backtest a model, you put the reps in, you find an edge, you refine until you have that edge. You take it to the live markets, assuming you put in the practice on demo, on backtesting, on forward testing, etc. And you just execute it. You wait for that to show up and you press the button, right? Regardless of outcome, whatever that outcome is, you do it again next time. Just like you said with fat loss. Wake up, eat in a caloric deficit, burn more than you consume. Ta-da, fat loss. But the consistency is not there, right? Consistency is key. Or upside, hey? If we can create this 15-minute breaker here, Asia session might be kind of fun. Well, quarter two, I think we got what we came here for. um, if anyone, if nobody has any other questions, we're probably going to cut it. But if you do have a question, just type it in the chat so I can get to it. Um, but yeah, not a whole heck of a lot to do as per usual in the PM session. Before you do go, you guys, if you guys could drop a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. And if you're not already subscribed, do so. Always appreciate it. Cheers for the chat, mate. Catch you on the next stream. Yes, for sure, Dom. Take care, brother. Thanks for the good conversation. Good times and good conversation with good people. That's what it's all about. But yeah, if I'm going to assume you guys don't have any questions. Um, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. There's the 15-minute breaker created. Might be looking for buys here throughout the overnight now that we finally have some sort of breaker block created. But yeah, we'll see. I'm obviously not going to be streaming the overnight, so I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I'll be on. 9 a.m. I will be on with, oh, who am I joining? Who am I with? Is it a 3-stack tomorrow morning? I'm not sure. Either with Kane or Alex or Leo or all the above. Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna take off and go about my day. Thank you for sticking it out with me in the PM. I always enjoy the conversations that we have. But let's have a good week here. Hope you guys enjoyed, like the stream, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, take care. Have a good rest of your night. Sleep well. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.